Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in for our instant match reaction. Apologies wasn't out a bit earlier on in the day. I was very busy. Hopefully you're all having a safe and well read, whatever you're doing. Let me know what you've been up to today and your instant thoughts on Liverpool's draw in the Champions League quarters and the semis, and obviously the final draw as well. So it's interesting. I've been very pleased with the draw tonight. Woke up, I was like, yes, sounds Liverpool can get revenge on Real Madrid. I'm joined by a very special guest, first time on the channel, my very good mate, Mr. Tom May. Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
No worries, lad. Thank you for having me.
Are you from a neutral? You are an Everton fan, but you're very unbiased. I know there's probably people screaming to tell you now, but I've known for years. But do you, from an outside point of view, do you think that's a decent draw from Liverpool?
I think it's a decent draw for Liverpool, but I think it's a decent draw for the English teams as well, to be fair. I think the main one is most people didn't want was either Bayern Munich or PSG, because I think they looked pretty strong in the competition.
Yeah.
So I think, the English teams are looking pretty happy with the draw that they've actually got.
Yeah, most definitely, mate. Yeah, we'll get straight up on the screen now, everyone. Bear with me, I'll also click a couple of buttons. There we go. Let's get to all your comments as well before we do get stuck into it. Ben, all right, Tom, how you doing, matey? I'm well happy with the Liverpool result. Unbiased, yeah, there we go. But yeah, he's a lot more unbiased from you, Latham, anyway. Cheers, everyone, for jumping in. Hopefully we can get something out of it. Most biased Everton fan going. Latham, you're probably the most biased Liverpool fan. But yeah, right. As we can see there, Reds, the draw, the quarters, the semis, and the final. We'll start with Liverpool's draw, Tom. From a point of view of a fan, I'm absolutely buzzing, really. As I mentioned, Liverpool seeking revenge. Kiev, everyone remembers it. Everton fans were very happy after that result anyway, but I've watched, yeah, I didn't hear the last of it, but yeah, Liverpool, Real Madrid aren't the Real Madrid of old. Don't get me wrong, they've got a rich pedigree. They've won the most Champions League in the competition. Their midfield, they've got the likes of Toni Kroos, Modric as well, Casemiro. They're still mainstays in that Real Madrid side, but they are missing the likes of Gareth Bale, who scored that absolutely brilliant goal in Kiev. Ronaldo's left as well. They left with Karim Benzema. He's been really. You got the likes of Vicinius as well. Vasquez up front for Real. Benzema's basically carrying Real Madrid on his shoulders. Really, they're obviously Varane and Militao at the back. Mendy, he's not quite settled in this year. We've seen him get brought on in the second leg. Isco, the main key players for Real Madrid, everyone, obviously Hazard is the big factor as well. He has suffered yet another ankle injury, and his career hasn't really got started. I think he's missed a lot more games than he's played for Real Madrid since his big transfer from Chelsea, from the bridge to the Bernabeu anyway. But do you think, what have you made of Real Madrid this season, Tom, when you've seen them?
I think when the season kicked off, everyone had the expectations of they've got all these new signings, and they did spend quite heavy, to be fair, compared to what other teams did in Spain. Okay, yes, some of them have not produced of what they should have been doing in the past, what they've done for their other clubs, but okay, it takes time to settle in a different league to, concentrate on what other teams do and how their tactics are. It's not like the Premier League, and you've noticed what Hazard had struggled in that Spanish league. I think slowly they got back into their rhythm and slowly, beating teams, but they're also losing against bottom of the league teams, which is quite shocking, really. If it's a 1-0 and they're chasing a game, so.
Yeah. Similar form to really Liverpool and Dortmund, would you say? Obviously in the league, and you've got the job done in the Champions League, haven't they?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, because I think when you look at you say Dortmund and Liverpool, this year has not been your year at all, and you've struggled with injuries, you've struggled. You know, how many centre-back pairings have you had? You've had about 22 different centre-back pairings. You know, you haven't had a solid centre-back partnership. If Klopp stuck with that throughout the season with the same pairing, it probably would have went well. But, you know, that's each to their own, to be fair. But, you know, it's one of them. I think it'll be a good game. It'll be interesting, actually, to see Madrid and Liverpool because, like you say, the form is not in the league is not great for either club, but in the Champions League, you look very strong.
Yeah, both of them have got rich competitions, and I said, Salah, the lads will want nothing more than to seek revenge. Obviously, what happened in Kiev, the way it happened, Liverpool were dominant for the first 10 to 20 minutes in that game. Salah went down, and it will be getting bigged up. I think a lot of the big news reporting, obviously from Sky and BT, for next coming weeks, it will be Salah versus Ramos. I think that's what you will see, all the headlines, and I think for Salah, from a point of view of he'll want a reaction from him personally, won't he? But the lads will have his full back, and Mane, Bobby, hopefully he's back fully fit and all raring to go. And it will be interesting. I think the game will be won in that midfield with the likes of, as I mentioned, Casemiro, Kroos, Modric. That's probably where they're most key this year. I know Vasquez, the Uruguayan midfielder, he's played not a lot of games this season, but I've been quite impressed from him, from his point of view. Not got a lot of minutes really in the Champions League, but the game will be won in the midfield. Yes, Liverpool are quite frail at the back, but I've watched Real Madrid this season when I've had them on Miaka and a couple of the European sides. When I watched them against Atalanta, Tom, and everyone at home, they really disappointed me. For the type of caliber of player in which they've still got in their ranks, Atalanta really in that second leg were very poor. I think Zapata didn't play. Muriel had a couple of chances. The referee blew the whistle straight on half time when Muriel was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, with the Real defence. So I think there will be chances for Liverpool, and if Liverpool can get a couple of away goals, I think, as you can see there, I think we are away in the first leg, and obviously Budapest second leg by the looks of it, depending on wherever we play, wherever that gets announced. Hopefully we are playing at home at Budapest, because the way in which our form has been at home this season.
Your second favourite home, isn't it?
Fancy it against Real, though. Would have won. It would have wanted them if we didn't get Porto. I think they're the most beatable with the way we play. Most definitely, mate. Haaland scares me, so I'm buzzing. Yeah, we'll analyse all the fixtures anyway, but we're spot on there. I'm just happy we've avoided Haaland until potentially the final. And I'm made up he's going to be going up against Diaz and Laporte and John Stones. That'd be fantastic to see. Recap of 2005. Tom, not quite an AC Milan, but Tom, as you said, it is in Istanbul. And I keep on saying on Facebook, I'm saying it's destined, it's written in the stars, mate. And this morning was proven even more. Tom's giving me down the banks on Facebook this week. He's probably put me on mute on Facebook at the minute. Time for revenge, Zuki, most definitely, mate. Stick Big Nat on Benzema will make him look like Prime Nias. I tell you, Paolo Maldini. I think that's what we'll have to call him anyway. Against Madrid, I'd start Bobby and have Jota off the bench if we need him. Ben, it'll be interesting, everyone at home, if Liverpool do go like for like with Real Madrid in terms of formation. I think they tend to play Real a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, depends on how Zidane, what side of the bed he wakes up at. But I think we possibly could match them, or would you rather want Liverpool to play our game, three midfielders? I think, as I said, the top of the show, this game will be won in midfield. And go on, sir. Love it when people just trash your set. But yeah, the game will be won in midfield with the likes of, because Modric and Kroos, like we've seen in the Champions League final, in Kiev, they controlled the whole tempo of that game. Liverpool couldn't really get a foothold in that game. I know it was a one-off game, but over 2 legs it will be very different. So there'll be 180 odd minutes plus extra time if we need it to really get past this Real Madrid defence. But yeah, spot on there, Ben. It will be interesting to see how Liverpool do go with if the way in which Jota has been playing Latham, if Jurgen does stick him up front and possibly go with that extra midfield anyway. What do you reckon, Tom?
I think Klopp might be very clever when it comes to this tie because, like you said, you are away the first leg. So I think, personally, what I think he might do, I think he might either give Mane or Salah a drop and then put them on the second half to see how the tempo goes in that game.
Yeah, most definitely. Wijnaldum will have them. Zuki is that lad. He will absolutely dominate them. I fancy our chances, Chris. How you doing, matey? Cheers for dropping in. I fancy our chances of making another Champions League final if we go through. Liverpool versus Chelsea, 2005 semi-final, like it's meant to be. Final is a one-off game. Real Madrid are an aging squad. 2005 Istanbul vibes. If we face Chelsea in the semis, Jasmine, Tom's absolutely hating this, but I'm telling you, lad, it's written in the stars, mate. And everyone, I implore you to go back and watch my post-match reaction of 2000, the Champions League final when we got beat by Real. And what do I say in that video? I said, we'll be back the following year and we will win the Champions League. Go and watch it. I'll probably put it on the intro in a couple of days. I'll recap that video. And we are winning the Champions League this season. But say, Klopp, do not write off Porto. Very much so, mate. It will be an interesting tie. And I think, from a point of view of it will be the likes of Chelsea underestimating Porto. And I think, I feel what I watched over the 2 legs, I did watch that Porto game in both legs. Porto, very clever the way in which they approached Juventus. And,
totally agree.
Yes, Chelsea, what they done against Atletico Madrid. But I think Porto, they're a lot more attacking compared to Atletico Madrid. But Chelsea are not the underdogs in that fixture like they were against Atletico Madrid. Everyone expected them to go through. Atletico, considering how well they have played in La Liga, everyone. So I'm intrigued. That is probably, yes, we got the likes of PSG, Bayern, City, Dortmund, but I'm very intrigued with the way in which this game will pan out, Porto and Chelsea. I think, as I said, it will be the likes of, will Chelsea and Tuchel underestimate them, and how Porto, with Marega up front, he absolutely terrorised them up front this season. But yeah, mate, I'm currently rewatching City versus Gladbach on a different level. They look so good. Who's that, mate? City versus, you mean City against Gladbach?
In the last round, yeah.
Yeah, in the last round. We underestimated Porto 4 times in 2 years and absolutely wiped the floor with them, Mitchell. Yeah, I think, but it's very new for Chelsea. They haven't been in the semi-final or final for a very long time, have they, mate? Obviously, we love to beat them in the Champions League. Tuchel has got them playing well, but Mitchell and everyone, we are experienced veterans in the Champions League in these group stages. But everyone, let me know your thoughts on that Porto-Chelsea game, Reds, and if there's any other neutral fans watching, let me know your thoughts on that tie. That's probably the most intrigued out of all of them. Dave, LFC Chats. Dave, I'll try and add you in, mate. I don't know if you're in work at the minute. Let me know. If you want, I'll drop the link in the chat there, boys. If anyone wants to drop in, get your thoughts on the draw, very happy to do so. I'm hoping Dortmund knock out City. We're all open, Tom. Right, we've talked a bit about Chelsea. Just a quick thoughts on the Porto-Chelsea, Tom. Who do you really, what are your thoughts? Do you reckon Chelsea will underestimate Porto?
Yeah, I do. I think Chelsea will come out with I think they'll go very attacking first, and to see if they can get that first away goal. But at the same time, Porto are very good at the counter-attacking, as you see when they played Juventus, and they seem to do very well holding a line as well when they're 1-0 up, or when they're trying to
they were a man
not
down,
concede
in that
goals.
second leg,
So
like half an hour.
That I think that one to be fair, like I said, they're all very great games, but I think that one would be the most interesting one. That would be the icing on the cake to see you get to the semis. Because if Porto get to the semis, then either Liverpool or Madrid will be like fancy the chances to get to the final.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Liverpool just got to focus on one game at a time, mate, haven't we? And whatever happens, happens. And I tell you, if all three English sides go into the last four, I think that'll be a big plus for the Premier League, and it will be interesting. Yes, Chelsea and Liverpool have been interesting games in terms of both sides. Obviously, we battered them early on in the season when we had a full strength squad. Will Virgil van Dijk be back for the semis or possibly final? I don't think he will, but I don't think the club will ever let on if he is ahead of schedule. I know Klopp has ruled them out for the Euros, him and Gomez, but you never know. The club pays his wages, so if 50% Van Dijk is probably better than most centre halves in the whole of Europe. So if he is fit, I think we will throw him in. But yeah. We have to worry about Vicinius. He is quick. Yeah, he's probably been one of their best players, Jasmine, in terms of he's coming from his native Brazilian league anyway. I think it was some Santos or wherever he's come from anyway. But everyone expected him to be the next Neymar, and he's played well, but he hasn't really lived up to his potential, as of say, considering obviously the huge price tag. Who'd Yasuki I approve. Who did Everton so? But I tell you, I think Tom would be very hoping that Everton can get into the Champions League this season. Be very difficult, but in a great position like Liverpool. Mitchell, something to look forward to. I'm excited. Big tie against Real, and I think we will win. But I'm not getting the Liverpool flag out the window just yet. Mitchell, not yet, lad, but we'll see if we can grab a couple of away goals, I tell you. Did you see Zagreb kid last night scored a hat-trick of worldies? Look class. What's his name, Tom? What's his name?
Orsic, I think it was.
Yeah, Orsic, yeah. It was even better. It was against Tottenham. That was probably one of the biggest.
I can't believe they've done that. Yeah. I can't believe they've done it.
Apart from the likes of Barcelona coming to Anfield and absolutely bottling it. But I think Jose, just a quick one on the Tottenham game, everyone last night, that was a shocking display, considering how usual that's prime time Jose. We've got a lead, sit behind the ball, and then, but it's another thing when you manage Tottenham in it. I just think
he's got his tactics wrong. That's all he's done. I think brought Harry Winks in, thinking that it would do the world of good, and they just ran through that midfield like nothing. And then it's too late when you're chasing a game after that 2-0. 2-0 down.
Yeah, spot on there. Mitchell. Hendo is back after the international break, from what I've read. Fingers crossed, it will be interesting. Like as I just mentioned, we've all been speaking over the last couple of weeks, haven't we? Will Van Dijk and Gomez be back? I don't think Gomez will, but possibly Van Dijk and Henderson will be the big factor, especially against the Real Madrid side that will love to dictate play. The one time on the ball. I think what we failed to do in Kiev was just we showed them a bit too much. Too much? We showed them too much room. Anyway. Yeah,
give them too much room for them to play. That's the problem.
Yeah, the tempo, Tom, it all changed, didn't it? When Salah went off, I think the intensity, the Liverpool's game plan just went out the window as soon as Salah went off the pitch. And it's important that Liverpool do get that plan B, C, and D down, especially against this Real Madrid side that are very capable of winning. David, I am very happy with that draw. David, absolutely spot on there, mate. what are your thoughts on all the other ties as well, Reg? We've discussed the Chelsea Porto, talked about could Chelsea possibly underestimate the Portuguese side. As Tom mentioned before, Porto very good at home in the Champions League. I don't think you conceded that many goals in this competition already. I think obviously when
No,
they
not at
played
home.
Juventus, I think that was the only couple of goals in which they did concede, but down to 10 men, 30 minutes to go in that second leg, and he coped very well. Yes, Ronaldo was a big girl and jumped out of the wall. But I tell you, if Chelsea can have a decent wall that doesn't jump out of the way, then I think it'll be all good and proper. Yeah, Orsic was it. Apologies about the pronunciation. Not the best with them. In 2018, in the first half, we were absolutely dominating them. And once Salah went off, we dropped off. Absolutely spot on there. Is Trent being left out of the England squad? Klopp's wet 2 weeks of decent ritual. I tell you, I don't want to comment there. I was sitting to myself and I said to all the lads, and you probably mentioned to all your mates, and probably, Kenny, there's no Liverpool players in this. I reckon Klopp has done Liam Neeson and rang Gareth Southgate and said, you pick any of my players, I'm going to come down to the England training camp and get you. Because I think Jurgen Klopp will be probably the most happiest manager in the Premier League at the minute. And I think Klopp, Trent to be made up, he can play a bit of FIFA with his mate Tex anyway, but you can relax, can't you, Tom? And I was speaking to you yesterday. Was it only Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and there's a couple of defenders for Everton have been missing, haven't they? Which is great news for both.
So it's only Lewin that's been selected for the England squad, so that's quite a good sign for us, really.
Yeah,
because that'll give him more confidence to score more goals for England.
Yeah, spot on there. That's right. We will save the Bayern PSG game for the last one because that's what it's sorry. But we'll go, as I mentioned, Scholesy mentioned Haaland up against the likes of John Stones and Diaz. But Tom, I'm so happy we've missed Man City because we could have easily got Man City. But it's the way in which everyone, that left-hand side of that draw is fantastic for Liverpool.
Yeah.
That is probably the best case scenario, possibly if you put a Real Madrid over on the left-hand side against City. And I tell you, if City lose the Champions League final after they beat, Dortmund, and then they either play PSG or Bayern, and then you get to the final and get knocked out by Liverpool, that's absolutely buzzing, mate. I'd be absolutely buzzing. But what are your thoughts on that game, mate, and everyone at home?
I bet you the bookies aren't going to be impressed because they had Man City's favourites to win it, didn't they? So, but I think Haaland's just a freak of nature, isn't he? He's so good. It doesn't matter what defender you put against him. He would just manage to score a goal, even if it's a tap-in or a screamer or a header. He's just unreal, the kid. But I think it's going to be difficult. I think City will come out dominating. I know Dortmund have got a few injury problems there themselves as well. So if they can get their match fit, then I think it'll be a very good tie. And like I say, all Dortmund would have to do is score 2 away goals, and they'll be comfortable.
I think that's what he's done well, Tom, when everyone at home. Like Haaland, some of the videos, I think it's only been the last couple of weeks. Looks like he's running. He runs so angry, doesn't he? Like he's I've been seeing a video this week of him just sprinting over to the opposition players. I'd love him in this Liverpool side because back into the Premier League. So hopefully not for Man City or United, but him in the Premier League, it's suited so well. He's, as you said, he's probably the most informed striker in the whole of Europe at the minute, apart from obviously Robert Lewandowski.
He's the only one that scored every game and in all his games.
Yeah. Everyone, let us know in the comment section below. Is it 12 games and 20 goals for Haaland already in the Champions League?
He's scored about 20 goals, more than 20 goals, I think. Including the goals that he scored in the knockouts. Yeah,
I think he's been the quickest player at his age in the Champions League to get to 20 goals, and I think he very much will beat Mbappe to his the next target anyway. But you got the likes of Marco Reus, Royce, whatever you want to pronounce it. Thorgan Hazard, I don't think he's been playing that much this year.
No, he's been quite injured.
Yeah,
So Sancho
Julian.
as well. So, they've got a good set of players. The attacking is, you'd want any of their attackers in your team. You can't write them off.
Yeah, and that's another story, isn't it, Reds? And Tom, everyone at home. Sancho going back to Manchester City. I think he will be absolutely buzzing. We're talking about Haaland wanting to get. He loves a big side, doesn't he? And everyone would bigging City up, and I think he'll love nothing more than to score against a big side like City. But could he be possibly playing himself in the window? But Sancho going back to Man City after they let him go, Tom, that's got to be a big headline as well, isn't it?
I think to be fair, City are kicking themselves to let a talent like that go. It's understandable at the same time because City do have a lot of talent coming through their academies. So they probably wanted to let him, figure out his own football in a different team. And you do see a lot of English players going to Germany and learning their trade of football. And now you just see Sancho dominating. Well, he does dominate that league, like Haaland does. And
yeah,
I think City will be. I think he's got something to. He's got a vendetta, really. He's got a vendetta to go over there and say, "Listen, you've missed out on me."
Yeah, that's be interesting to see how both managers set up. Have Dortmund even got a manager? I don't even know. Haaland just might as well be the manager. He's just scoring all the goals. You could probably do a decent job for both. Just telling yourself to go up front and just bang a load of goals in. But City, exactly. There's no doubt in their quality, and they have. If there's one squad in this Champions League, apart from obviously like the Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich is probably the main one. They are favourites, but City's squad is capable to combat on all fronts, whether that be the Carabao Cup, Premier League, Champions League, because their squad depth is ridiculous, and City fans out there will be very disappointed with the way we're not. We're buzzing with our draw, but I tell you, that's what they get for all the money they've spent. If you want to win the Champions League, Liverpool know that. We all know, and all the top teams in Europe know that. If you want to win the Champions League, you've got to beat the best teams. Liverpool were playing Real Madrid, massive club, and then we played Porto or Chelsea. Both of them, no disrespect to them, are still two very big clubs in European competition. All three of them are serial winners. Obviously, Chelsea with Di Matteo winning it, and then Porto with Jose Mourinho as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how all these sides compete. And let me know, everyone, what your thoughts on the City Dortmund game. As I said, very, very tactical game. Be interesting to see how Pep Guardiola does approach this, if he leaves a lot more space or he's a bit more reserved, knowing how good Haaland, because I think if Haaland gets in behind this Manchester City back line, the man breathes goals. He wakes up in the morning wanting to score goals, and there's one player in the whole of Europe, apart from obviously Kylian Mbappe, Haaland is going to be the biggest test for Manchester City that they've had this season, because there's no player on the planet on current form, apart from Lewandowski, but his sheer hunger, you see him sprinting into the box, and it won't be interesting to see if he just pulls apart this Manchester City defence. Like we've seen Jamie Vardy early on in the season. Yes, Manchester City went in not great form. Manchester United beat them recently, Manchester City, so they can get got at on their day. A bit of luck goes Dortmund's way. You need that in these competitions. Needs a bit of luck. Liverpool have had a bit of luck in the Champions League draw, and it's up to Liverpool now to really go head to head against the big boys and focus one game at a time. But Dortmund, PSG versus Bayern Munich, Tom, everyone. Let's quickly get to all your comments as well. I've left that till last because that is what a draw that is. Haaland's going to move. 1 second. I appreciate every single one of you dropping your comments in, absolute legends. Drop a like on the video as well, it does help the algorithm. Thank you, every single one of you that has done that. Haaland going to move City's defence. Yeah, he will move them up, down, left, right, in the ground as well. That City team, they've not faced anything like this. And it'll be if Liverpool do play, as I said, as Scozy said in the comment section at the top of the show, I'm just happy we're not playing him until possibly the final, because I want him, Tom. I want him in our side. I'm selfish.
Better get the checkbook out.
Everyone get buying Liverpool's kits anyway next season. FSG need the money. I've got City as favourites. To be fair, they look different gravy. Yeah, definitely, mate. But I tell you, if City are to win the Champions League this season and they beat the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG, and Dortmund, and obviously whoever they play, hopefully absolutely batter them, but it would be lovely. Imagine Liverpool beating Man City in the final. You'd never hear the end of it. But
I've never get Man City, because they've had a very good squad over the years, and they can still never produce to get to like the final and win it. It baffles me.
It's all to do with mentality, though, isn't it, Tom? Like, clubs, you cannot buy experience in the Champions League. You look at Real, Liverpool, Bayern, big serial winners of the Champions League. They know what to do. Obviously, Chelsea, you've been to two finals. Tom's fell over there.
I went missing.
That was Haaland, that whacking the ball.
It was a goal.
But yeah, Mitchell, I think you'd still have City as favourites, would you, mate? Obviously, they are going to be facing PSG and Bayern. I tell you, if PSG are very capable of beating this Bayern Munich side, but all of them, all the ties look like the setup perfect. Because yet, if you had Atletico Madrid, they love to park the bus, and fair play to Chelsea. He counter-attacked them to an absolute T, really, in terms of... don't know where Tom's gone. Tom, click on that link as well. But yeah, you can join back again, matey. Dortmund's defence is not the best. Yeah, neither the City's on the day. Yes, they played very well. Diaz is shored that Manchester City defence up, but Jasmine, we've seen and overs. We've seen this season. City, they've had their off day. 20 goals, and 20 goals for Haaland in 14 games in the Champions League. That is absolutely scary. Mitchell, Mignon Raiola is his agent, though. Would be a nightmare linking him away all the time. There we go, Tom. All right, Lar.
I went missing, sorry.
Sorry, it's usually my set that's fallen down. No worries about that. No worries. But yeah, just Mitchell saying there, Tom, obviously Raiola, whoever Haaland goes to will be an absolute nightmare to sign.
Yeah.
Him and his dad asked for a pathway to the first team at City, so City let him go and got a tribunal. Obviously, talk about Sancho there, didn't you? Will be interesting. We can't complain with the sides of the draw. Madrid are not the same team. Fully confident we can get to the final. Yeah, the 1892 Reds podcast. Make sure you head over to the lads' channels. I think they have got their post-match reactions as well, and obviously the build-up. Make sure you do head over there, Reds. Cheers for dropping in, boys. Absolute legends. Kevin De Bruyne might just run the midfield. Yeah, obviously Emre Can. I think Emre Can's been playing at the back for Dortmund this season. They've utilised him. He's very capable. He's a player that's very capable of playing in midfield and defence, but it has been interesting. And he, I think you looked at the stats. I think I've seen the stat this season of Dortmund in the Bundesliga. There's been no quicker player than Emre Can over like a certain distance. So it's absolutely filthy that Dortmund are playing him at the back, because he's very capable in terms of his attributes going forwards, his vision and everything. Man City could beat Dortmund, beat Bayern, or PSG will be their talking points if they can win the UEFA Champions League. Yeah, Man City should beat Dortmund. Beating Bayern or PSG will be their talking points if they can win the Champions League. But you got to get past us, boys, haven't they? You got to get past us if we do get in that Champions League. So yeah, Pep might overthink like he did last year against Leon. That's a spot on point, that, Jasmine. It's as Tom alluded to before, and all of you when we've been speaking, it's the mentality with City. They disrespected Leon. It'll be interesting to see if they disrespect Dortmund as well for another countless season. But Tom, you only get that experience with eventually getting over the line. City should, at a big should, beat that Dortmund side.
Yeah, they should. To be fair, you've got Guardiola, who's had this experiences over the years as well when he was a manager at Barcelona, and he knows what it. All right, it took him a long time to win the Champions League when he was at Barcelona, but he should get the mentality right for his players, because they're all players that have played in the Champions League before, so they're very well capable of knowing mentality wise that, right, we're getting there. We should beat this team. But I just think it goes down to the tactics as well at the same time. I think Guardiola against Lyon last year, he got his tactics completely wrong.
And it was when he played Monaco as well, they absolutely bottled that. And it was the year, everyone let us know in the comment section below. It was Monaco, and then it was Lyon the year after. Or I think I'm missing another side that they got eliminated by. Yeah, it might have been that, but you're spot on there, Tom. Looking forward to Haaland against the best team in the Premier League currently. Fingers crossed he bashes them. Daz? Yeah, I think he will, mate. I can't wait for him to just run at this Manchester City defence. I tell you, there's no one like him in the Premier League. No one. Apart from the only player... His shot power is ridiculous. The way this man, probably the only in recent years, Van Persie, I can only think of a player with a left foot like him that is able to lever the back of the net. He's a fox in the box, and as I said, FSG, get him to Liverpool come the end of the season.
He's not scared he's not scared to run at defenders, and if we look at what City have got used to in the Premier League, they haven't got many attackers running towards their defence. They're either passing or moving around the defence, like, tiki-taka and all this, in between, pass or move. Haaland's a different breed of a footballer for an attacker. He will run at the defence and he will barge them out the way till he's through that wall, and then he will score a goal. That's what he's like. The kid's just unreal. He's just not scared.
I just love his arrogance. Yes, he comes over very cocky, but you don't get to that elite level with the confidence like we've seen with Ronaldo. He's put the hours in on the training pitch to get where he is, and I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. I think everyone let me know what you think the highest scored and tie will be. I think it will be City Dortmund, just for the sheer amount of goals. Yes, you've got the Bayern Munich and PSGs, but I think those two will be a lot more respectful to one another, because they played each other in the Champions League. So I don't think both sides will be as gung-ho. Yes, they got Robert Lewandowski up front, the most informed striker over the last 2 years, but I think Dortmund City will probably have the most goals in the quarterfinal stages. Mitchell, I think the main positive we have going on is our history in the competition, lineage and the history in the competition. Yeah, spot on there, Mitchell. And I think it's important that when Liverpool, yes, we do love to talk about our history, but like Real Madrid's, your Bayern's, you need, and I think it will help Liverpool, that yes, you can look at it, and yes, we lost the Champions League in Kiev against Real, but it's important, like we've seen, we've got this history against Real Madrid. We've played them once before, and that was when they had Cristiano Ronaldo, when a young Trent made Ronaldo swap wings. That made that be said anyway. He forced them out wide. On another parallel universe, Liverpool won that Champions League. Sadly, it wasn't this universe anyway. Can I quick question to the Toffee, Tom? Yeah, who would he like to face at this stage if he was in the competition? Obviously, would they have the best chance of beating? So, Tom, spot on there. Comment as always from Mitchell. Point that to you there, mate.
You know what? If it was anyone, I'd probably fancy my chances against Chelsea, because Chelsea is probably one of them. It's they're up and down, and especially now that Turridge is in charge. All right, he's got Champions League experience, but all right, they did beat Atletico comfortably, but I think I'd rather take them on because Champions League's different to the Premier League. I think, it's a higher stake, so they can't make mistakes.
It's that added intensity, really, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if Liverpool are to play Chelsea in the semi, it just adds more to the tie, doesn't it? I think as Liverpool fans, especially me, I grew up watching. It seemed to be we used to get home from every night when we were playing in Champions League. It was always Chelsea. The ghost goal. Obviously, Dirk out getting that penalty against him as well, and taking us through to Athens. So it would be so good. Jasmine, Monaco, Liverpool, Leon. Liverpool, McKindo, come on, how have you forgot? I knew it was us. I knew it was us. Sorry, Jasmine, you can shout at me in the comment section below, everyone. Probably, yeah. But yeah, I knew it was us. I don't know why my brain wasn't working as per. But yeah, spot on there, mate. Sam. Hi, Tom. Norway, Austria, Germany. Let's wait till we play in a proper league. Yeah, most definitely, mate. Defo. Right, PSG, Bayern Munich, Tom. As I said, we've said both sides possibly, and everyone let me know your thoughts on this tie. It's a monster game. We've seen them, Bayern Munich, win against Paris Saint-Germain last year, 1-0, courtesy to a Coleman header. It was very cagey then. Do you think we'll see a very cagey tie in the quarters against them too?
I think PSG have got a point to prove this time. I think I said from the start of the competition, even when the group stage, I fancied PSG to get to the final this year. I think they've got a massive point to prove because obviously they want to win it. They want to win it. And with the players that they have got, they should be in the final. Hopefully they should beat Bayern Munich, but like I say, Bayern Munich got fantastic players and they're just so versatile and their system, and like Gnabry for a winger, like who would thought that he came from Arsenal, and you just think look what he's producing.
Tony Pulis said he wasn't good enough for West Brom.
I know. Now look what's happened.
Tony
just goes to Bayern Munich and dominate the league.
Yeah, unlucky Tony. I don't think he's even got a club now at the minute. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting tie. As I said, but PSG have got a point to prove. Pochettino coming into a new club. He's got them absolutely flying. Moussa Keane, obviously still a Everton player. Tom, what have you made of the exploits of him in the French league and obviously in the Champions League? He's been a new player, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's needed that, mate, to be fair. But the interesting thing is if he wants to come back to Everton to prove that he can do it in the Premier League. All right, I think he got a bit mistreated a little bit when he first came in, but we can't expect to play week in, week out all the time. All right, he's a young kid, but all right, he's doing well for PSG and he is playing week in and week out for that team. And every time he comes off the bench, he's scoring goals. So I think that's what he needed, confidence to build up his goal tallies.
Yeah, PSG are not doing good domestically. No, they're not spot on there. Like, it's a similar story. Like me and Tom and everyone you've all mentioned already, top of the show. Liverpool, Dortmund, Real, Chelsea, even when they're not all doing good domestically, but Champions League knockout football, it's a different competition completely. And I think all these sides have found comfort in the Champions League, if that's the right way to say. They've been able to relax as well and express themselves. And if you look at all those ties, all of them, all teams probably will attack each other. And I don't think last couple of seasons, Tom, when I've seen everyone at home, let us know. I don't think I've seen a more attacking teams all in the knockout stages. Porto, Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid, possibly a bit more defensive Real. Dortmund's you only know one way to go forward with Haaland. City, PSG, Bayern. They're all expected to attack each other. And I think probably we will be seeing a lot of broken records in terms of knockout stages for goals scored.
Yeah, I agree, mate, because every team that we look at, like on the sheet of paper now, they're all attacking, and they're very good at counter-attacking as well, which we've never seen. Like you say, a team that just sits there in the fence. All right, Madrid can do that if they want, but I think Madrid will only do that if they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Same as what City might do, or what Chelsea probably might do. Like they'll probably do the Solskjaer and park the bus. We're winning 1-0, we'll park the bus.
Yeah, he defended very well, didn't he? Them and Porto.
Yeah. It's gonna be a very good list of games to watch and see how it's gonna play out, and see who's gonna be the first team that goes, you know what, sod it, we're gonna attack and we're gonna win a game.
I think you will see a couple of big scoring fixtures, and like it was for Liverpool last season, Tom. That's why I think it's so important that Liverpool and all the teams that are playing away from home in the first, like, so important. Get your away goals. I think Liverpool can possibly get a goal or two, ideally 3 or 4. That'll be great because it allows Real Madrid to come out and possibly leave space in behind. But yeah, it's Jasmine said, in Champions League, teams are way more attacking and don't sit back, other than Atletico getting being knocked out there, mate. Spot on. Liverpool for the 7th. We move, Sam. Yeah, I keep on saying, mate, it's written in the stars, as all the other lads have mentioned already. But yeah, right. I'm doing a quick one. Everyone, let me know. We're going to go through quickly. I'm going to ask Tom to pick a player from each of these ties that will stand out. Everyone, make sure you do get your comments in as well. I want to gauge who do you think will go through, and if you could pick a player out of all the ties individually, obviously the Bayern, PSG, if there's going to be one player that you think will stand out, let us know in the comment section below. Tom, quick fire round. The results of obviously the 2 legs you feel, and obviously the player of the tie that will help the on advancing team. So we'll go with Bayern PSG, mate. Who do you reckon the result would be that over the 2 legs, and obviously the big player in that tie?
I'm going to go with a 4-3 PSG. I think the main player that will stand out on this one will be, I think Verratti will be the one that stands out, because I think he's been underrated quite a little bit. I think he's a very good, unique little midfielder for PSG.
The battle between him and Kimmich should be very interesting, won't it, mate?
Yeah.
In terms of how they play. City, Dortmund. I know you're going to say, but go ahead.
You might be shocked, actually, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 Dortmund. I think I know Haaland's going to be the one that we just can't. It's just Haaland, isn't it?
Just set off. Real, Liverpool, yeah, be nice, lads. Yeah,
you know what, mate? I've got a feeling this is going to go to penalties. You know,
pens. Oh,
I think it's going to be a 2. I think it's going to be a 1-1 or a 2-2 in aggregate, and then it's going to go to penalties. And I think you might snuff it in the penalties.
Yeah, Porto, Chelsea. I think there might possibly be an upset. I've got a feeling something about Porto screaming at me when he's got announced.
To be fair, when I look at it, I think Porto. I'm going to go with Chelsea. I think it's going to be like a 3-1. I think because they're away. I think they'll get the 2 goals or the 1 goal comfortably, and then at home.
Yeah, spot on there. Salah should stand out, being linked to Real Madrid for a while, so this is the time to shine. Yeah, I don't think Salah will be going near anywhere Real Madrid, mate, especially when Ramos is in the changing room. I think if you got rid of Salah's going to retire at Real Madrid, mate. YNWA, thank you for your comment, mate. Hopefully I've pronounced that right, but really do appreciate every single one of you for dropping in the comment section below tonight. And if you're watching this after it's been uploaded, Reds, make sure you do get your comments in, your thoughts on the reaction to the draw as well. Tom, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. It's been a pleasure as always.
And yeah, try and get Tom on with a couple of lads as well. I think tomorrow I'll try and get a bit more people on as well. So try and get a couple of lads. I'm live with Doug tonight from 7 p.m. on his channel. That's the Dugout Football channel for the reaction to his Champions League draw. He's in work at the minute, but I'll be live at 7, and I will be live with Dave a bit later tonight as well. I think that's about 8, half 8 tonight on Dave LFC chats as well. But Reds, keep safe and well, Tom. Thank you so much, and every single one of you.
Thank you again.
If you're continuing to watch up until now, you're absolute legends. I hope you have a lovely day. And thank you for all the support, as always, Reds. And yeah, Liverpool, what a draw that was. See you later, Reds. And thank you, everyone that's dropped a like and comment as well. Really does help the channel and the algorithm. But Reds, I will see you tomorrow and see you later tonight if you're dropping one of the lads' live streams. But Tom, pleasure as always, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you again.
You absolutely smashed it, lad. First time on the channel. But yeah, see you later, Reds, and you'll never walk alone. Ta-ra.